بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على من لا نبي بعده. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to the first episode of this podcast. Honestly, I'm really excited to starting this. For my first episode, I wanted to talk about something that I think all of us need at some point in our lives: patience, prayer, and trusting Allah when life becomes difficult. There's a beautiful verse in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 153, where Allah says, "O believers, seek comfort in patience and prayer. Allah is truly with those who are patient." And I want to take a moment to think about what that actually means. Because when we hear the word patience, sometimes we think it means simply waiting for something to get better, waiting for a problem to end, waiting for something we really want. But I think patience in Islam is much deeper than just waiting. Sometimes patience means continuing to trust Allah even when you don't understand what is happening. Sometimes it means not giving up when you are tired. Sometimes it means controlling your reaction when you're angry. And sometimes patience simply means getting through one difficult day and still turning back to Allah. We all go through moments where things don't happen the way we wanted. Maybe you worked really hard for something and didn't get the result you expected. Maybe you lost someone or something important to you. Maybe you're worried about your future. Maybe you're making dua for something and it feels like the answer isn't coming. And in those moments, it's very easy to become frustrated. You might start thinking, why me? When is this going to end? Why isn't Allah answering my dua? And I think this verse gives us a beautiful direction. Allah doesn't tell us that life will always be easy. Instead, He tells us what to do when life is difficult. He says to seek help through patience and prayer. Think about that. When we are struggling, Allah tells us to come closer to Him, not to run away, not to give up, not to think we are alone, but to turn to Him. And I especially love the ending of the verse. Allah is truly with those who are patient. That is such a comforting reminder, because sometimes when we are going through something difficult, we can feel completely alone. We might not know how to explain what we are feeling to other people. Maybe even the people around us don't understand what we are going through. But Allah knows. He knows the thoughts we don't say out loud. He knows the tears nobody sees. He knows the things we are worried about. And He reminds us that He is with those who remain patient. Now, being patient doesn't mean that you can't be sad. It doesn't mean you can't cry. It doesn't mean you have to pretend that everything is fine. You can be sad and still have sabr. You can be tired and still have sabr. You can struggle and still trust Allah. I think that's something really important to remember. Sometimes we think that having strong faith means never feeling weak. We have emotions, we have difficult days. What matters is what we do when those difficult feelings come. Do we turn away from Allah or do we turn toward Him? And that's where prayer comes in. Allah specifically mentions salah in this verse because prayer gives us a place to put everything we are carrying. You can stand in prayer when you don't know what to say. You can make dua when you don't know what to do. You can put your worries in front of Allah, and even if the situation hasn't changed yet, your heart can begin to change. You can become calmer. You can become stronger. You can remember that you don't have to control everything. Allah is in control. And maybe that's one of the hardest things for us to accept. We want to know exactly what is going to happen. We want to know when something will happen. We want to know why something happened. But sometimes Allah asks us to trust Him without knowing all the answers. And maybe the delay we hate is actually protecting us. Maybe the thing we didn't get wasn't good for us. Maybe something better is coming. And sometimes we simply don't know the reason yet. But we can still trust Allah. So if you're listening to this right now and you're going through something difficult, I want you to remember this verse: seek comfort in patience and prayer. Allah is truly with those who are patient. You don't have to figure out your entire life today. You don't have to solve every problem today. Just take the next step. Pray, make dua, be patient, keep going. And trust that Allah knows what you don't know. Maybe your test is not meant to break you. Maybe it's meant to bring you closer to Allah. And maybe the difficult season you are in right now won't last forever. So the next time you feel like giving up, remember, be patient, pray, and remember that Allah is with you. Thank you so much for listening to the very first episode of this podcast. I hope this verse stays with you today, especially if you are going through something difficult. And before we finish, I want to leave you with one question. What is one thing in your life that you need to be more patient with? And how can you bring it closer to Allah through prayer? Think about that. And until the next episode will come up inshallah. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.